Everybody, how is it going? My name is Robert Baker and welcome to Guitar Control. What are we doing today? Well, we are talking about focusing our practice. Now, it's kind of like an O2 common issue for guitar players, myself included in this one for sure, that we sit down to practice and we end up just kind of noodling around for an hour and then we call it a day. And that's not always the best for our playing, and sometimes we need to remind ourselves that we really do need to have that strict practice mentality of, I really want to get better at this, so let's just really hone in and focus on this. And I'm just going to give you 5 different ways to really work on that. Not necessarily licks to practice on in this video, but just some tips that I think will help establish a practice routine for you, and definitely have you progressing much quicker if you haven't kind of already established some of this stuff. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to us. We post videos every single day from myself and all kinds of other instructors, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so tip number 1 is have a practice routine. So I talked about that before, but there's a few tips I think that help kind of get this path going that will make life so much easier on you. So, what am I talking about here? Well, basically, I want you to establish a routine. Have a set amount of licks or scales or whatever it is that you want to practice, kind of like already pre-planned, that you will go to. That way you're not just kind of sitting there like wondering, like, what am I going to play? Because that's when we end up just sitting there, playing whatever, instead of really honing in and practicing. So, also though, I don't want you to do the same thing every single day. I always tell people, treat it like you're going to the gym. So when people go to the gym, they have leg day, they have arm day, they have back day, cardio, all this kind of different stuff. They don't do the same workout every single day. Part of that is because, you're working on different areas of your body, but also I feel like it's so you don't get burnout and just tired of doing the same thing. So treat your guitar like that. So maybe Monday is legato day. Maybe Tuesday you can't practice, it's a busy day at work. Wednesday is picking day. Then Thursday you can, okay? Thursday is picking and legato day. Friday is riffs. Stuff like that. Just create some kind of routine that's going to establish that mentality that, hey, I need to practice this, but don't kind of burn yourself out. Now, the next thing that I want to incorporate in here is practice with more than just yourself. So, if you have friends who play guitar, that's a huge benefit. Playing with another musician will, I think, greatly increase your capabilities because you're kind of feeding off of their energy. But if you don't have that option, like me, I grew up way out in the country. I had no one else to play guitar with. So they have things now, looper pedals, and I really encourage that. If you don't have a way to, like a computer to record yourself, get a looper pedal. So, if you're practicing a scale, so I'm just going to do like a quick loop here real quick like. We're going to go... So I've got that looping now. So you can see now, I'm just playing the scale, but it makes it so much more fun because I have rhythm all of a sudden kind of going over it. And this could be a great one for maybe you have a songwriting day. So you come up with a riff, then it's like, okay, I want a melody to go over top of this. So let's see what we got. So you can kind of see how that could build into something really fun. And so before you know it, you've been practicing, either writing on songwriting, kind of like, oh, how do these chords work together? Lots of different stuff. Just find a way to have it more than just empty air around you and sitting there playing a scale. That'll get old quick, and then, like I said, you'll kind of get discouraged, and it just makes it a lot more fun. So next on the list is our good old friend, a metronome. Now, the reason I'm going to say use a metronome with your practice, to focus more, is because it's something I've mentioned in other videos. Now, with the metronome, it's kind of cool because, for one, it gives you something else. Like, you treat it as very much like a drummer in the room. So you're just kind of like, you can groove off of it if you want to. But more so than that is, it gives you a physical number. Out of all the stuff we've done here, this is the only thing that actually gives you a number so far. What I mean by that is you have a physical number to look at to chart your progress. As players, it's really, really easy to kind of fall into that mindset that we're not getting any better. But as a teacher, you know, I see the students once a week, so I see the progress. I'm like, oh, wow, you were getting a lot better at that. And they're like, oh, I didn't feel like I've gotten any better at all. It's because, you know, obviously you see yourself play every single time you play guitar. So those, you know, the distances between growth are much, much smaller. In your eyes, anyways. They might still be happening, but you're just like, man, I'm not getting any better. So with a metronome, you can actually write down where you're improving at, because you can be like, all right, I practiced this week at 60 beats per minute, but then in 2 weeks you're like, oh my god, I'm 100. I'm 40 BPM faster than I was before, and that's exciting. And before you know it, you just want to practice more. Then you get faster. You know, it's just whole progress. You know, it's a really, really cool thing just to sit there and chart out your metronome progress. What do we have next for you? Well, the next thing is, as important as it is to learn scales and all that stuff, most people start playing guitar because of a song, because they want to learn songs, something like that. So I always encourage people to, at the end of your practice, you know, at the end of the, you know, whatever the day is, sometimes it's going to be a really heavy technique practice, make sure you make time to just play. You know, if you want to just noodle around, that's fine. You know, if that's what you enjoy doing, have the dedicated, you know, side, but also have that side where you just play for fun. You know, 100% just for fun. Doesn't matter what you play. You could play a riff. You could play an AC/DC song. It doesn't really matter, you know, what you play. You just want to make sure you always are ending your practice like sessions with a fun riff. Fun, that way, that's what you've left in your mind. You know, you've left the playing, you know, you sat the guitar down, and the last thing you remember was, that was awesome. And that you never want to leave on like a very frustrated note, that you hate what you're playing, you know, because then you're going to come back and you'll see that guitar, and that's the last thought you had was, you know, that feeling of discouragement and stuff like that. So make sure that you find time just to play, just to riff around, and end on those good notes. And the final one, and probably one of the most important ones that I think anyways, for helping you establish your practice routine, and it's the main thing that encourages you to keep going with it, is to set goals. Have song goals. So you want to pick a few songs that are some that, if you're a little bit more of an established player, you can kind of gauge if you can play a song or not. You know, like if you pick Sweet Child of Mine is a pretty tough song, but you also have Scarified from Racer X. You know, really work to get to that Sweet Child of Mine level. Have that Scarified as that big goal, because I know for me, songs I wanted to learn when I was, you know, becoming a player was like a Creed song, but then my crazy goal was like Hot for Teacher. And I remember when all those years later, when I could finally play Hot for Teacher, not as good as Eddie, of course, but could kind of get my way through the song. It was such a cool moment, because I just remember all that time sitting there wishing I could play that song, and then you finally can, and it's probably one of the most motivating things to make you want to go practice more, is when you can finally play that song that you've worked so hard for to be able to play. Well, alrighty, that's going to do it for us here today. Hopefully those help you. Alrighty, that will do it for us here today. Hopefully that helped you guys out with your practice routine, Alrighty, well, hopefully that helps you kind of get that practice routine going, and just, you know, has it really stick in there for you, because then you really will see the progress in your playing. And I think you guys will enjoy it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. New videos every single day. And we'll see you later. Have a great day, everybody.